Head injury. Recognition. Signs, symptoms and treatment. Your eyes can tell you a lot if somebody is suffering from a serious head injury. We'll look into what things you need to be looking for shortly. But first of all, let's just look at small bumps to the head. Small bumps to the head, we've all done it. Maybe you've walked into a door or a cupboard door and you've hit your head and it's going to be sore. Normally though, this is not going to have any serious problems or long-term problems. Maybe you fall down a couple of steps and bump your head. What do you want to do then if you've hit your head? First thing you want to do is sit down. Always sit down before you fall down. Inside your freezer at home, you may have a bag of frozen peas. Wrap it in a tea towel and hold that onto the person's head. In your place of work, you will have a first aid kit. Have a look inside your first aid kit. You might have an instant ice pack. If you have instant ice packs, these are great. All you need to do is squeeze it and it pops and instantly it is cold. This can go directly onto the person's head. So wherever they have bumped the head, you're just going to hold it on. Yeah? Now we want to keep this onto the head for 10 minutes. Why does this work? When you bump your head, all the blood rushes to where the injury is. And when the blood rushes to the injury, it throbs, 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 throbs. Blood rushing to an injury causes pain. When you put an ice pack on, what happens is, in my language, all the blood says, "Oh, that's cold." So it goes away to somewhere else. The problem is that if blood stays away, then the skin is not receiving blood, which doesn't receive oxygen. So after 10 minutes, you want to remove that ice pack and you want to keep it off for 10 minutes. What happens then is the blood says, "Look, she's taken the ice pack off." And the blood will come back again to where you were holding the ice pack, which means the skin is now receiving oxygen. But it can still be painful. And if it is starting to be painful again, then you can put the ice pack back on for another 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, guess what? You're going to take it off. You can repeat this process up to an hour. After that, you should be absolutely fine. This is if somebody has a minor head bump. But what if it's something more serious? What if somebody falls from a height and hits the head? What if they get knocked over by a car? What if they get hit around the head with a cricket bat or a golf club? This could be serious. Going back to our eyes, it can tell us a lot. Looking at somebody's eyes, we're looking for the following. Maybe one pupil is really small and the other one's really big. Unequal pupil sizes. You're going to call 999. Maybe people are seeing double vision. And when you hold up your fingers and you say, "How many can you see, Edna?" And they say, 4. Now we've got a problem. What else about the eyes? What if they've got a bloodshot eye? They've had a bump to the head and a bloodshot eye. You have to get emergency services. What if a black eye starts to appear? You have to get emergency services. Or what about raccoon eyes? What are raccoon eyes? It's like little black circles around the eyes. Again, you have to get emergency services. What are the signs and symptoms though? If somebody has had a serious blow to the head, they're going to be feeling really dizzy. They're going to look as if they're going to be falling down. That's why you must get them seated. What else might you see? Fluid. Fluid coming from their ears or fluid coming from their nose or both. What is this fluid? It can be straw-like colour, quite light, coming from the ears or nose. It could be slightly pinkish, it could be blood, but most of the time it's just straw colour. If you see any fluid come from the ears or the nose after having a head injury, you have to get emergency services. So what is this fluid? You've got your brain, you've got your skull that goes on top, and in between the two, you've got cerebral fluid. And if we see fluid coming from the ears or the nose, this is showing us that there's a fracture in the skull. So this is serious. Emergency help straight away. Do not give them anything to eat, anything to drink, purely because when they get to hospital, they may need to have surgery. But going back, most of the time it's just a small bump to the head. Sit them down, ice pack on for 10 minutes, take it off for 10 minutes and rotate up to 1 hour. And most of the time they can carry on with their day. But 1 hour quiet time. Don't just run out and start running a marathon or long distance or jumping on a trampoline. That will not help. So 1 hour quiet time. I'm Sarah, owner and trainer of First Aid at Work, Aberdeen and Aberdeenshire, making training fun, engaging, but most importantly, memorable.